Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, March the 24th, 2023. Friday, March the 24th. Well, we have Epiphany's name mentioned again. This time, Marshall's talking to Trina, because they're talking about forgiveness, talking about yada, yada, yada. And Trina's just saying, right now she's not ready. She can't trust yet. Trina's being honest. Marshall's, you know, talking to her. And then he was talking about, I understand, because she feels that things have changed, like she's alone. And he goes, You're not alone. He's like, she goes, I know that technically, but how things are just up in the air for her. And he was saying, well, I can understand how you feel because I felt that way before, he and Curtis reconnected. He goes, but somewhat now. I mean, Curtis is going through his own thing, he goes, and she goes, what about, your relationship with Epiphany? And he goes, Epiphany is starting a new path in her life. And it is, Johns Hopkins Medical Center. I guess it's in Maryland. And he's like, it's a 9-hour trip for him, I guess, by bus, because planes don't exist, but by bus. And realistically, she now needs to really focus in on getting this done, finishing medical school. So he's like, in long distance relationships, a lot of times they don't work. And I thought, okay, they brought up Epiphany again. And we'll see where they're going with all of that. Right. And then we have, then he's talking about, they talked about Cameron. Cameron's having a party. Cameron's leaving. And he says he likes Cameron. Cameron's a good guy. And then he, of course, brought up Spencer. Now that Spencer Cassadine, and he started to say something negative. And she goes, you know what? Perhaps Spencer should be a topic that we don't talk about. I'm thinking, there you go, shut him down, because you're grown. You're grown and technically not even living at home. You live in the dorms. You live on your own, right? So she goes, nope, Spencer's my friend. But what he's trying to say is, Trina, you're making all the concessions. And what concessions is he making for you? So she goes, no, I Spencer and I are friends, very more, actually could be more than friends, but we're good. I'm good with that. So Spencer shows up at the door. It was so cute. He's in the house being his bossy self. He looked up on the internet about what helps with lactation, this herbal tea. And he goes, here, this is blah, blah, blah tea. It's good for lactation. And he puts it down and she looks at him like, what? For one, what is lactation? Because I'm sorry, everybody. Have you even heard her mention it? She's breastfeeding that baby? No. Right? Nothing. Laura's getting this bottle. That means formula. So we don't need lactation tea, Spencer, if we're not going to breastfeed, honey. Okay? Just think about it. You don't know everything. Yeah. So, Laura, because Spencer leaves, he's going to go to Trina's, pick up Trina to go to Cam's party. So Laura comes out with a cup of coffee for Esme. And she goes, but I thought, see, they were hinting maybe she's breastfeeding, but really she's not. And Laura says, an occasional cup of coffee won't hurt, honey. And I'm thinking, you ain't breastfeeding anyway. They never addressed that on soaps, So she's like, oh, good. And she tasted it. And she was like, oh my God, this is so good. And so Laura was talking to her because she's still saying, she doesn't know if she could trust Laura. And Laura says, listen, let me tell you. The one thing you can trust is I will always want what's best for my grandchildren, always. And as may be it in Joe, it was not best for him. Okay. I have his best interest at heart. So with an extension, that means you as well. Right. And so Esme's like, yeah, but can you trust me? Laura says, I remain after everything I've done. She goes, trust can be earned. She says, but I could tell you this, I'm getting ready to go because my grandson is his going away party. She goes, yes, Cameron Weber. And she goes, yes, Cameron Weber. She's like, yet another person I heard. Yeah. Yeah, you did that, right? And so Laura says, here. She took out, looks like 100, maybe 120. She put it down. She goes, here's some money, just in case you need to pick up something for you or the lace. And she goes, wait, you're leaving me here alone? She goes, do you feel that you're uncomfortable being here alone with Ace? Do you feel you can handle it? She goes, yeah, I can handle it. She goes, then yes, I'm leaving you here alone. I've got someplace I need to be. And so she goes and she gave her the money and she goes, and you're giving me money? And she says, yes. Aren't you afraid I'm going to run off with it? With the money and Ace? And Laura looked at her and she said, Esme, I think you're going to end up doing what's best for your baby. Because in her mind, she's thinking, you ain't getting far on $120, girl. Because if you think you are, you really don't have your memories. Because memory, Esme, is high maintenance, like I read in Comment Corners, trust fund Esme. Esme does have a trust fund. Ryan did set one up for her, right? The monthly stipend. She just don't remember. And really, she doesn't remember she has it. Because otherwise she would know. I can take care of myself. Even though I don't know why her trust fund was so small, I think maybe it has to do with some have different ages that you must reach, and she's not 21 yet, right? So anyway, we've got Jocelyn coming to talk to Cameron. And Cameron, she's talking and she's saying, I wanted to come say goodbye to you. And he goes, aren't you coming to the party? She goes, I didn't know if you wanted me at your party. And he goes, Jocelyn, we are still friends. And all my friends are going to be at my going away party. So that made her feel good. And so then he said something about Dex. He goes, so is this serious between, you and Dex? And so she said something to the effect that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if Dex didn't truly mean something to me. So she said something like that to Cameron, and he's just looking. So Sonny comes in with Dex, and he asked Jocelyn, can I speak to you for a minute outside? So Dex is standing there, and Sonny takes Jocelyn outside, and Cameron's looking. He goes, I have something I want to say to you. And so Dex is just standing there, and Cameron tells him what he wants to tell him and tells him, don't hurt Jocelyn. And he goes, I won't. He goes, well, pretty much by you being with her, she can definitely get hurt. But I'm just telling you, Jocelyn does mean a lot to me. And don't you hurt her. So Sonny is telling Jocelyn outside, look, he's taking extra precautions. And he just wants her to be vigilant too. And she goes, I already know about what's happening. And he goes, how do you know what's happening? And she goes, my mother told me. That's why we have extra guards around us too. I mean, she goes, I know the drill, Sonny, when we can be in danger. And he goes, nope, that's what you guys are not going to be in danger. That's what the guards are for. And Jocelyn just looks at him like, you can't guarantee that, but okay. And so she goes, Sonny, I've grown up around this. I know the drill. She goes, and whether you like it or not, Avery and Donna are getting old enough and they're learning the drill too. They're going to learn. Really, when we can't stay with daddy and we see a whole bunch of strange men standing around. Okay, we're in protection drill, right? And so they go back in and Sonny says, Dex, let's go. So that Dex turns and they leave. And Cameron, what did no, Cameron said, what does Sonny want to talk to you about? And so she says, oh, Sonny's going through whatever with his organization, blah, blah, blah. She goes, what did you and Dex talk about? He said, I told Dex he better not hurt you. And then Cam says, I have to go. So I got to go to the party. So Cameron leaves. And then we have, let's see, Victor showed up at the house earlier. And Victor was like, he's coming to see his great nephew and blah, blah, blah. And Laura's like, oh no. And Spencer's looking like, look, I can handle it. I got this. So he's, Uncle Victor, can we talk outside? So he takes him outside and he goes, Uncle Victor, you can't just show up like this, right? I will see my family whenever I want to. And he goes, Uncle Victor, now, no, we're going to do this a certain way. And he goes, you came to me for help with getting your brother. And he goes, oh, and I still need that help. He says, but I don't need you showing up here like this. He's like, because Esme is not under police investigation right now. She can leave town. I don't need you, Uncle Victor, scaring her. And he goes, so we will talk, and we'll talk about a plan, but not here, right? So I was like, okay, Spencer can handle Victor. He really does. He really does. So that's when Spencer went back in the house and he got his coat and he left. And what else do we have? Oh, we have Eileen. Anna and Valentine gave her the fake necklace that he's supposed to be pawning off on Victor. She's supposed to be pawning it off. So she makes the call, makes the appointment to meet Victor. And she takes the necklace and he goes, and she tells Valentine and Anna, when I deliver this, I'm done. I've fulfilled my part of the bargain. And they're like, no. Until Victor's neutralized and we're all safe, then you're done. That's just like every time she does something for Victor. I'm done. I fulfilled my end of the bargain. He looks at her and goes, chick, you're going to do what I tell you to do for as long as I want you to do it. Get out of here with that. I'm done. So she gives Victor the necklace and she goes to leave. And he goes, hold on, where are you going? Right? And she goes, well, I gave you the necklace. I have an office to get to. I have a job. And he goes, no. I'm getting ready to look at this diamond and see if it's the real deal. And her eyes got big because she knows it's a fake diamond. But come on, they could give a good enough replica because Victor's not no diamond appraiser. Please, he would have to have that. He would definitely have to have that skill, which he doesn't. But he's going to look for markings. And I'm sure they put some of the diamonds with some similar markings on the necklace that they have. They just can't decipher what the markings mean, right? So she's nervous and they leave it with Victor putting one of those diamond things and getting ready to look at the diamond, and we'll see what Victor comes up with. So now, this is the good part. I liked this part. We've got my boss, Sonny. I'm sorry, everybody. Did you see the way he was looking at Selena? He stepped to her. Let me tell you something. Because he goes, he wanted her to give a report on, did she find out who was behind the warehouse ambush? And she goes, I'm sorry to report, I don't have a name for you on that front. And he goes, this person hangs out at, he named the bar, which is one of your establishments. And she goes, I don't frequent that bar. I have a number of financial holdings that I don't frequent. However, somebody has a name, and I will ask around and try to get you a name. Because trust me, an attack against you is an attack against me as well. And he looked at her. He goes, yeah, you find out. And so he goes, and another thing, Selena, I heard you bought my nephew's garage. And she goes, yes, I did buy that. And he says, let me tell you something, Selena. And he steps in towards her. Her big tall bodyguard is behind her. So as Sonny steps in, the guard kind of, no, actually, as he's saying, let me tell you something. Dex instantly goes from Sonny's left over to Sonny's right so that he's standing right next to Selena's bodyguard. And I thought, oh, that was a Jason move. That was a Jason. Go ahead, Dex. Now, mind you, Dex is way shorter than the guy, but he's standing there like, oh, no. I know how to get in position. And once he got into position, Selena was talking to he goes, the problem is you should have come to me and discussed it with me, Selena. And so she goes, yes, I should have. And now Dex has already made position. And when Dex got to Sonny's right, next to Selena's bodyguard, Selena, as she's talking to Sonny, she looks at Dex like, okay, I see he's getting in position, right? And her guard is straightening up. And so she goes, you're right. I apologize for that. But I assure you, the garage is going to prove profitable for the both of us. He goes, I don't care about that garage. Because he was thinking, I gave that garage to my cousin. Why would I care? Right? And so he goes, but a move against my family is a move against me. Right? And she looked at him and she goes, my apologies again. And she turns and she walks away. And I thought, Selena, you playing with fire, girl. You playing with fire. Because stupid Gladys, she did get some of the proceeds of that garage because Selena said, this will settle your debt. And do you want me to put the proceeds on an account with me for the next game? And she's like, no. I'll give it, deposit it in my account. No. Right? But Sonny's going to find out Selena has been fleecing Gladys. I don't know what Selena's thinking. Maybe her next thing is to try to get some stock. She's going to want Gladys to sign over some of Sasha's deception stock, maybe. But still, in the end, Sonny's going to come after her. Period. That's his family. Okay, it's like, go on with your bad self, Selena. Because the way he's looking at her, that down and up, and I'm talking to you, barely moving my mouth. Chick. Yeah. I said, I wish Nina could see that look. Because Nina would walk around the corner, walking up there, Sonny's talking to her, looking like that. That would stop her dead in her track. Like, oh my, what's he doing? Because, he can't snap out of that look right away. He would be like, look up and see us, Nina. It will take him a minute to go, hey, Nina, what you doing here? So anyway, that was it for the daily recap on General Hospital. Oh, at the last scene, Esme decides she's going to make a run for it with the baby. She has the baby all wrapped up. She goes, I think I could trust your grandmother, but I don't know for sure. So we're out of here, Ace, right? So they finally got a big enough blanket for this baby. And she's got the bag. She stuffed the money in it. She's opening the door, and it's Cameron there ready to knock on the door. I mean, maybe he was coming to pick up Spencer, speak to Spencer, and it's Esme. and she's looking at him and he's looking at her. So that's going to be good on Monday to see what conversation do they have. Let's see what's going to go on with that. You know, by the line, I don't think she's going to leave whatever after whatever conversation she has with Cameron. I don't think she's going to. Well, for one, she ain't leaving. We already know that, right? So let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. I'm going to get through these comments. Sabrina says, great recap. I agree. I think Esme's memory could be back. But even if not, she's a very manipulative person. NK Rose says, I don't care if Spencer compromising with Esme made the new Esme like him, or if this girl's playing everyone just to hurt Trina again. Pamela says, what happened to Esme's trust fund? Yep, she is not poor. Hope you feel better soon. Have a nice trip. Yeah, we want to know what's going on with that trust fund. And Cindy says, good point. She probably doesn't remember she has it, but Spencer could have reminded her. Now, why would Spencer remind her of that? Spencer wants her to think she is dependent on the good graces of his family. He does not want that girl to know she has a trust fund that she has weekly access to, that really should be building up. Because remember, even after she recuperated, she couldn't touch anything because the cops are tracking. They were tracking that trust fund. So we got it. Money that ain't been used has been building up, right? In that trust fund. So now we have, let's go to the next comment. Michelle says, I don't know what Gregory's thinking, but both his sons don't like to be lied to. And he's lying to both of them. He should at least tell Finn and Chase. It's not fair to them. Look what happened to Willow. I know. I don't get this. I must suffer alone, right? And not even let my family be close to me in the end. He must not be watching Little Violet that much anymore. Cindy says, have a nice trip. Have a nice and safe trip. Daily recap, lady. Cindis. I see what you put after that. I hope you will continue to get better. Cindis also says, it seems like Esme's having more and more behaving more and more like she used to. But if she had her full memory back, I should think she sees some kind of we would see a crafty look on her face when nobody was looking. Yeah, because we saw that a lot because she just loves smiling to herself. Squawkies says, I actually enjoy how Spencer and Esme are being portrayed. It's a realistic display of panic, anger, and annoyance because no one is getting their way. It's a very gray situation. Spencer's a brat who wants to act like judge and jury. Esme is starting to develop a God complex and a victim complex. I don't want her memories to come back in 2 to 3 years for the sake of it. And Cindis says, agree. I think they're leading to finding out Epiphany has suddenly died when she does not return calls or texts. I know she's not going to be at the nurses' ball either. I think the tribute episode next week will show them remembering her. I think so too. I really, really think that's how they're going to do that. The show showing them in remembrance and showing a lot of flashbacks of various scenes as the character speaks about the memories of her. It'll be a touching tribute. I think that's how they're going to do it at the nurses' ball. And then Anita says, agreed. Cindy says, the relationship between Gregory and Alexis doesn't look like friendship. She's sticking her nose in where she is asked not to and is disrespecting his boundaries. I don't know what makes her think she's entitled to know his secrets, which had nothing to do with her. She is behaving like Lucy Coe. And then Jody says, I love Curtis and Jordan together. I like Curtis and Jordan together too. Anna Rihanna says, I hope you're feeling better. I am feeling better, but not 100%. Anna Rihanna, next week I should be 100%. I'm feeling some kind of way about the results of Elizabeth's outcome. Not surprised. Great recap. Hello there says, I think Esme doesn't actually have memory loss, but possibly split personality disorder. Wait until Kevin comes into the apartment with Laura and starts acting a bit crazier than his usual self. He's not taking Ryan's death very well and may just cause Esme to get scared and flee with Ace. I'm sure Victor is going to try to grab him as well if she goes free on the loose. Lucy says, Thursday, March the 23rd, episode was boring to me, except for the couple of almost kisses. You got Jordan and Curtis almost kissing, and Spencer and Trina almost kissing, right? Paula says, hello there, Daily Recap lady. I am bothered about Elizabeth. She got off scot-free. See, Trina went to trial for leaking a sex tape she had nothing to do with, and St. Elizabeth got a pat on her wrist for doing more than Trina did. That's wrong. It's got me very upset. And then NK Rose says, Elizabeth will be passed over for promotions and raises for someone like Felix, Amy, or Deanna. Because I doubt they'll make an effort to do anything with those characters anyway. I know. NK Rose says Liz's real consequences is she won't be promoted to head nurse when Epiphany's character exits the show. DB says she needed a week in the street to figure out why she is so annoying. And then Mildred says Elizabeth aided a crime, period, but not by not alerting the authorities, aiding and abetting. Jane says, good luck on your flight. Thank you, Jane. I flew out and in safely. LaShunta says, Liz keeps her job. Alexis do too much. She's not going to stop Gregory sick. If Cody tells Sasha do that instead of dropping, if Cody's gonna tell Sasha do that instead of dropping hints, they really are making Sasha dumb now. That is so true. Cody's just, these hints is like, you don't even know her. Why are you dropping hints? Just tell me what's on your mind. Miss Wu text about the game, to what's her name, Gladys. She's gonna gamble. She's gonna gamble all your ends. Curtis thought the grass was greener on the other side. He went to Portia on the rebound from Jordan. We shall see. The preview tomorrow. Victor wanna know what Spencer wants to do with Esme. He ain't nothing. Yeah, Victor told Spencer that, you know what, we're gonna frame her. They're gonna just straight out frame Esme. You ain't got to frame. And here's the deal. What makes you think framing her is gonna stick? The stuff she really did, she's not getting punished for. You ain't got to frame her. She already has a mountain of charges on the docket, right? So let's see what's going to happen there. All right, everybody. So that is the daily recap for Friday, March the 24th, 2023.